Okay, North Carolina, getting here. If you have a HOA, you might want to listen up. Senate Bill 378 has passed with a 47-0. Now heads to the House for consideration. So this means if this passes, this would mean that they can no longer foreclose on your house for HOA fines. This would also put a cap on HOA fines. And then this would also ban HOAs from fining people for running home businesses such as music lessons and tutoring. Now, I don't know who was out here catching fines for that, but damn. Now, just to note, North Carolina has some of the lax laws over HOAs, meaning there's no oversight governing committee agency that is over HOA. So if you have an issue in the state, you really are kind of, at their mercy, unless, you're really going after like the management company or something like that. Of course, you can always reach out to state resources about that. And then, of course, there was a bill that went before all this. It was House Bill 444 that was from Representative Eiler out of Brunswick, who missed the deadline, but he said that he hopes to add some of his items to this checklist. So it'll be real interesting to see what he's adding. That being said, many of you do know that I am an HOA right now, a vice president. I was the president of my last board. I'm on a new board. So yes, the stories I have, the the moments I could tell you. And most people are like, oh my God, you're one of those people. But no, I do understand why they have them. I do understand, what HOAs do for certain communities. I cannot speak for everyone's community. Have I helped people with their HOA issues? Absolutely. I have dealt with people who have sent me their governing documents, and I've helped them kind of, navigate the process, because your HOA should not be terrorizing you. Your HOA should not be, doing. I see all the funny parodies, and my friends send them to me all the time because they're just like, hey, and I'm like, no, I'm not in the community doing that. But if if you made me go out there and do it, absolutely, I'm out here. And if I have to come out here and you're disturbing my peace, I'm going to start, pushing fines. But I just never felt like, pushing a fine unless it absolutely was necessary. And especially foreclosure. I never, even as president, I never pushed for foreclosure of anyone's home, because my thing was always humanizing the situation. If that meant us going to go talk to this, this resident and saying, hey, how can we help you? What's going on? Things of that nature, because at the end of the day, this is our community, and you do not want a bunch of houses going to foreclosure in your neighborhood, bringing down your property value, because absolutely not. Because people look at stuff like that. And then, you just don't want to be those people. And understanding, my kids went to school with a set of children that, their parent was on the HOA, and he lost his life over, you know, something so minuscule because of someone being angry. And I guess, I don't know like how it all boiled up to that point. But baby, when I tell you the many things that I have seen, the stories that I have, it's a lot of story times. It's a lot of story times. Um, from the Project X party to the people running, shooting behind each other. And mind you, I lived in a really quiet neighborhood backed up to a farm. So, but y'all, this will be really interesting to see, how this moves forward and how HOAs are governed, and, what they can and cannot do. Because, yes, do I believe that some people abuse their powers? Absolutely. Am I one of those people? No, because I would much rather you not bother me. Like, if I can help you, cool. If not, please don't bother me on my way to my car. Please don't bother me on the way to the mailbox. My office hours are like, please don't even be that person.